ביאור משנה ט', explanation for משנה ט'. כבר הזכרנו בפתיחה למסכתנו, we already explains, שבכל 7 ימי הסוכות היו מנסחים מים על גבי המזבח בשחרית. That the whole 7 days of the Yom Tov, of Sukkot, you would pour water on the altar. בשעת הקרבת קורבן התמיד. When was it done? When the Tamid offering was brought. מנהג זה הוא הלכה למשה מסיני. Where do we find this custom? Where is it written in the Torah? It's not written in the Torah. Moshe came down the mountain and he said it. ויש מוצאים לו רמז בתורה. There are some found a hint in the Torah. כמו שכבר ביארנו בעניין זה בפרוטרוט בפתיחה, like we explained. ניסוך זה נעשה בחגיגיות יתרה. This pouring of the water is accompanied with great celebration, ופומביות רבה, and a big celebration to make sure everybody knows about it. Why? כדי להכחיש דעתוהם של הצדוקים. At that time, there was a cult called the Tzdokim that they did not admit in anything that wasn't written in the Torah. They only kept the things that's written in the Torah. All the things that Moshe says, God told to me, they didn't do. Only if it's written in the Torah, they did. שלא הודו במצוות ניסוך המים בחג. And since this is not written specifically in the Torah, they did not admit that you have to pour down the water. So therefore, the rabbis made it the biggest celebration to show that it's very important. משנתנו בא לתאר את פרטי המעשה של ניסוך המים. Our Mishnah is going to describe how it was done. ניסוך המים כיצד? The pouring of the water, how? צלוחית של זהב מחזקת 3 לוגים. There was, let's call it, a cup of gold or a plate of gold that held 3 logs. הלוג הוא רביעית הקו. A log is approximately half a liter. So it's 1.5 liters, approximately. היה ממלא מן השילוח. They sent a messenger and he used to fill it up from the river called שילוח. מעיין בירושלים, not a river, a spring in ירושלים. 3 לוגים הוא השיעור הקטן ביותר שבנסקי היין. 3 logs are the smallest measurement when it comes to the wine. רביעית ההין לכבש, like we said, a quarter of a hin לכבש, a quarter of a hin is 3 logs. הגיעו הכהנים והעם לאחר שמילאו את הצלוחית. So the Kohanim and the nation came around after they filled out the cup, לשער המים, to the gate of the water gate, it was called, one of the gates that they used to go out and come bring it in. אחד משערי הזרה הדרומיים, this is one of the southern gates, שהיה נקרא כך על שם שבו היו מכניסים את צלוחית המים לצורך חג הסוכות. And the reason why they called it שער המים, because that was the gate that they used to come in from. It was the closest gate to the well, to the Maayan. And what happened then was a big celebration. There was trumpets, and תקעו והריעו ותקעו, and they played the trumpets, תקיע, תרוע, תקיע. לקיים מה שנאמר, to fulfill what it says in Yeshaya, ושאבתם מים בששון, you have to draw the water with a great celebration, with great happiness. עלה הכהן שזכה בעבודה זו, then the Kohen that brought this cup from the well, from the Maayan, from the spring, went out בקבש, he went on the ramp of the altar that was in the south of the altar, it was in the south, ופנה לשמאלו, so he goes up to the ramp and he turns to the left, now he turns this way, לקרן מערבית דרומית, now he's turning to the southwest corner, to the southwest corner of the thing, ששם היו נעשים הנסכים. Over there, you would pour the wine. That place, you would pour the wine. במסכת זבחים שנו, in מסכת זבחים they said, כל העולים למזבח עולים דרך ימין. It says, when you go out on the altar, you would go on the right-hand side of the altar, of the ramp. היינו בצד מזרחו של הכסף, on the east side of the ramp, ומקיספים את המזבח לשם העבודה. And then would go around clockwise. Anti-clockwise, sorry. Anti-clockwise. ויורדים דרך שמאל. And then they would go down on the left. בצד מערבו של הכבש. On the left. חוץ מן העולה 3 דברים. Except in our case. Our case and 2 more. Let's see what are the 2. Except 3 There are three exceptions. הנעשים בקרן דרומית מערבית. The three exceptions, you do them on the southwest corner. That's why you would go on the west side of the altar, not on the east side of the altar. What are the three things? ניסוח המים, us, pouring of the water. ניסוח היין, also pouring of the wine. Again, it will go on the left side of the say, you turn right over there, instead of going all the way around. והקרבת עולת העוף. And also the sacrifice, when the sacrifice is a bird. When the sacrifice is a bird, it was also done on the left. כשהיא רבה במזבח. והקרבת עולתה כשהיא רבה, what do you mean כשהיא רבה במזבח? I don't know what it means. Maybe when there's too many, which means when there's too many. Yeah. שהיו עולים וחוזרים לעכב, that they used to go up and go back לעכב. What do you mean? שלא היו עולים דרך ימין. In those cases you wouldn't go out on the right side, ומקיפים את המזבח and go all the way around, אלא היו עולים מיד דרך השמאל לקרן דרומית. They would go immediately to the... Like a shortcut, that's right. It's usually not a good idea because people are going up and down. You'll bang into each other. Okay. So they want it one way. So it was for this thing you don't go one way, you go the other way. ולאחרי שסיימו את העבודה היו חוזרים בדרך שעלו. And after they finished, they would not go the other way around because people are walking. They would go back the same way. The shortcut. הטעם מבואר בגמרא. בניסוח המים והיין. So in ניסוח המים והיין, it's obvious why they go to the left. שמא יתעשנו הנסכים. No, not because what I thought. שמא יתעשנו הנסכים מעשן המערכה. You don't want them to get smoky. The water or the wine, you don't want to get the smoke. כלומר, שחוששים שמא עד שיקיף את המזבח. You worried when you go all around the entire fires over there, כדי להגיע לקרן דרומית מערבית, יתקלקלו הנסכים. You want to give good quality wine. Good quality wine, it's not when it smells of ashes. It smells of smoke. Good quality...
Not wine, good quality meat.
No. Wine and water.
Don't drink the wine after.
Wine and water.
When they put it on the altar.
Wine and water. It's on... Everything else, you don't care about the smoke. The wine and the water, you don't want to go with the wine and the water around. Why? Because the wine is supposed to be good quality wine. Good quality wine means not smoky. If it becomes smoky...
Why would it smoke?
The smoke from the fires is going to come out. You're going all around the fires. And the smoking.
And then when you get there, you pour.
Yeah, but by that time that you pour it, it's already going to be... In other words, would you give this wine to a king? The king says, why is this wine smelly? So the king will tell you, this wine has a smoky taste to it. I don't like the smell. The wine is supposed to be meshubach. It's supposed to come out of it. It's not supposed to have hints of smoke.
Smoke is going to go into the wine.
Exactly. They're afraid that the water and the wine is not going to be good for a king. And over here, you're going to give to a king, you're going to give it the best quality wine, the best quality water. That's the idea. והרי נאמר, and it says, תמימים יהיו לכם ונזקיהם. It says they should be pure to you and the jubilation. שאף הנסכים יהיו תמימים. That they're supposed to be pure without any other smoke, they're supposed to be good quality. Let's say the highest quality possible. So that's understood.
I understood. It's very funny. I understood, but once you put the nesachim and you go around, all the smoke is going to go on the people.
No. It's talking about the wine.
That's what I said.
No, that's not a problem. That's not a problem. The problem is the wine.
Okay.
Yeah. So that I understand when it comes to the wine and the but the smoke on the meat is something that makes the meat better. That's not a problem. But so what about the birds though? The birds, the smoke shouldn't hurt them, shouldn't hurt the birds. ובעולת העוף, and when it comes to עולת העוף, שמא ימות העוף מעשן המערכה. It says you're afraid, it's the only, really, I didn't realize that. It looks like the sacrifice of the off was done up there on the mizbeach. In other words, you know how the off was done, with the finger. So the shechting was done right on the mizbeach, it looks like. when you're in the Mizbeach. So you're afraid that while you walk around, all the smoke is going to make the bird die. So that's why you go to the left.
I have one problem.
Yeah?
Because you know that this smoke was going up Yashar.
Mm-hmm. Good question. Maybe it was only in the first temple. Second temple didn't happen. Second temple, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe this is the second temple, it's a different problem. Shema yamuta of mashamarcha. Okay. So in the southwest corner now, we're talking. On the southwest corner, mamash the corner, shnei sfalim shel kesef hayu shama. There were 2 cups made out of silver in the southwest corner. Berosh hamizbeach, on the top of the altar, בקרן דרומית מערבית, אחד ליין ואחד למים. 2 cups on the southwest, 1 for water, 1 for wine. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. He says they were not made out of silver, של סיד היו. They were made some kind of clay. You know, you take clay, I don't know exactly how to do it, from seed. What's seed in English? Lime. Yeah, it's like lime mixed with mud probably. הספלים. אלה שהיו מושחרים פניהם מפני היין, but they were completely black because the wine all the time poured on them, so they got that coloring from the wine. שפעמים היו טועים ושופכים יין לתוך הספר של מים, because many times they would mistake and they would pour the wine into the water. ולכן שניהם היו מושחרים בדומים לשל כסף. That's why they both looked like silver. ומנוקבים כמי שני חותמים דקים. And they had 2 holes. The cup itself had a hole, like a spout. Had like on the bottom, yeah. It had like 2 spouts. כמי שתי חותמים דקים. בכל ספן היה כהן חתם ובו נקב. It had a spout and a hole in the spout. ומה שהיה הכהן מנסח לספלים, so the Kohen used to take the big pitcher of water and used to pour it into the cup. And from that cup, there was a spout gone down. היה יורד דרך הנקבים על גג המזבח, it will go down on the altar, on the roof of the altar, ומשם לחלל העמוק שמתחת על מזבח הנקרא שיטין. And from there it will go down to the hollowed part, under the altar, that's called shitin. And the shitin, there were 2 holes that were coming down. אחד מעובה, one was thick hole, and one was thin wall. The thick obviously for wine, and the thin for water, because water just passes through no problem. Wine congeals, and you need a thicker one. הנקב של הספר שבו המסכת היין היה עבה, the hole for the wine was thick, ואחד דק, and the other one was thin. והנקב של הספר האחר שהיה בנפסך מעל החג היה דק, and the water one was thin. Why? Why do you have to have one thick? And also by the cups, one was thick, one was thin. Why? כדי שיהיו שניהם כלים בבת אחת. Because wine pours, you want them to reach at the same time. Yeah. לפי שהיין סמיך, the wine is thicker, ואינו ממהר לצאת מן הנקב כמו המים. It doesn't run as quick as the water. והואיל והיו מתחילים לנסח את היין ואת המים בבת אחת, since they would do it at the same time, both the wine and the water, לפיכך היה הנקב של היין מעובה. That's why you need to make the wine a little bit bigger, so it will pour out at the same time that the water will pour out. כדי שיצאת המים תסתיים כehati. You want them to end at the same time. בבת מערבי, הספר שלצד מערב, the cup that's on the west של מים, was of water, היה המזרחי של יין, and the eastern cup was of for wine. הספלים היו סמוכים זה לזה, the 2 cups were exactly next to each other, אחד לצד מערב שהיה של מים, one to the west was water, and one from the east was wine. עירה של מים לתוך של יין. What happened if he made a mistake? He took the water and by mistake he poured it into the wine, or he took the wine and by mistake he poured it into the water cup. אם טעה ושפך מן הצלוחית של מים לתוך הספר של יין, if he made a mistake and poured into the wrong hole, ושל יין לתוך מים, or the wine he poured into the one or into the cup of the water, יצא. He still did his obligation. Not the ben, next time don't do it, but the obligation, you're done. In other words, you don't have to do it again. You don't have to do it again, it's kosher. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rabbi Yehuda says, בלוג היה מנסח כל 8. It says, Rabbi Yehuda disagrees on 2 things over here. It says, over there we said in the beginning, was it a log? Before we said, 3 loging. Right? The Tanna Kama says you need 3 logs. Rabbi Yehuda says you don't need 3 logs. 1 log is enough. And he says, not only during the 7 days, also, according to Rabbi Yehuda, also Shmini Atzeret you do it. Rabbi Yehuda חולק על תנא קמא בשני דברים. He disagrees on 2 things. שהיה מנסח בלוג אחד מים ולא 3 לוגים. He used to use 1/3 of the water. And ב' שניסור חמים היה כל 8 ימי החג. And he says also on שמני עצרת, not only on סוכות. היינו אף בשמני עצרת ולא ב7 ימי הסוכות בלבד. But אין הלכה כרבי יהודה. But הלכה is not like רבי יהודה. We have to use 3.5, 3 logging, not 1 log, and it's not on שמני עצרת. Only on the 7 days of the holidays. ולמנסח אומרים לו, and to the one who pours the water, we say to him, הגבה ידך, it says, lift up your hand high, כדי שנראה שאתה נותן את המים לתוך הספר, because we want to see that the water goes into the cup. שפעם אחת, why? שפעם אחת ניסח אחד על גבי רגליו, because there was a case where the high priest, or the guy, he happened to be, I think, a high priest in that era, in that thing. It doesn't matter. But the Kohen used to be, was a tzdoki. Rather, a tzdoki, someone who doesn't admit that it needs to be done. And he said, if pour it on the altar, he poured it on his feet. So he said, אחד על גבי רגליו, so why was he pouring on his feet? To show that there's no such thing, there's no such הלכה. שהיה צדוקי, וכבר הזכרנו בהקדלה משנתנו, שהצדוקים לא הודו מצוות יסוכם. Already explained that the tzdokim did not admit that it needs to be done. ורגמוהו כל העם באתרוגיהם. And then what happened? The entire nation killed him. They threw their etrogs into him and killed him. הילכך היו אומרים למנסח שגבי ידו. Therefore, every time since then, they used to tell the guy, show us what you're doing. כדי שיראו אם אינו נוהג כצדוקי, so that to see that he is not a tzduki.